hard time. Can you imagine?
Right?
We just told him we were going to go live, and all of a sudden,
He said no one.
I think you should totally come over here and say hi. Yeah, he just waved and walked by.
He's not having it.
No. Hey, Pam.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I'm cold. I have a my nice scarf that I was wearing that I thought looked a little weird. But it's my current blanket at the moment. Somebody over here is
hot.
Not cold.
No.
Can you imagine?
No, I'm not. I'm not cold at all.
Not cold at all.
Mm-mm. Nope.
So, hey, Anna.
Judy,
hi.
hi.
How you doing?
It's Tuesday again.
It's Tuesday. It comes so fast. Not that we ever mind. It's just like, what are we going to do this week?
Right? And then I feel like we made it so busy.
Yeah.
We have a lot to share today.
We actually do. You know, it sounded so simple. And then all of a sudden it became, holy crap, we've got this and this and that and the other thing. So, hi, Mom. Hey, Trish. Shirley, Holly.
Yeah, Tony's a lot camera shy.
Tony is never going to come. I thought it was so close. Maybe he'd just make a funny face at you or something. But unfortunately, no.
He wasn't going to have it.
Just no.
Yeah. Well, I have some new frames coming today.
Do you?
Yeah, not new frames, but new clips. There's some my Valentine's Day ones are coming and my Hogwarts ones. So I'm really excited. Hopefully the mail person actually delivers the mail today. That would be great. He's not very good.
I got a Amazon package.
Yeah.
And my husband usually gets them because it puts them on the dining room table. And so there was 2 that were delivered yesterday, and one of them was on the dining room table. I'm like, well, where's the other one? I'm looking out on the porch, nothing. So I get online and I log into the Amazon, and it says package was left in a secure location. And I thought, where could that be? I just was like, wait a minute. So you could, go in, and it was an Amazon delivery. So there's a picture. It wasn't, USPS. And it's sitting in front of my garage, in front of the people door, just out there for anybody that could, wants to drive up. Very, very secure. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is crazy. Oh, look, I have my phone.
Mine's over there. I at least put mine. My phone is being socially distanced. Sarah's phone is now socially distant. Oh, she's getting a drink.
Yeah.
You guys get to wonder what it was.
It was a heavy drink today.
It's been one of them, man.
Wow. Yeah.
We have,
the days go by so quick. Most of them. And then we get a day that takes forever, and we're like,
oh my God, is it 3 o'clock? Or is it 5 o'clock? Or is it time to go home?
Yeah. And they're so rare.
They really are, but they do happen.
So we're going to show you some bobbins. We're going to talk about winding your bobbins correctly. That is, we get a lot of sloppy bobbins in here, and
yes,
we know how important.
We get the, my machine's not working when we take the bobbin out, and it's, all, I call them, they kind of look like a flower. I'm trying to be nice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Does your bobbin look like a flower? Why, yes, it does. That's why your machine's not working. But we're going to hopefully fix those problems for you today. So I told Sarah she had to do all the heavy lifting. I'm just going to sit here and chill out today. And I'm going to watch Sarah tell you guys how to thread for a bobbin and actually get it looking the way that it should and the way you want it to.
Yes.
So
we picked 3 different machines. So
you get to watch it in a couple different ways of working. So all machines are not created equal, and they do have different winding paths. The bobbin paths are pretty much all the same. Yeah. But we have a baby. Nope. What is that? Is that one? Nope. That's the brother. So that one is the NS80, which is equivalent to the Jubilant. So a little bit more in the entry level line way of doing things. And then what you got over there?
Pacesetter 500. So mid-level.
Machine. And then, of course, we're sitting in front of the beautiful Solaris. So we're going to show you that as well. So very different systems. Same outcome is what we're looking for. So we're going to hopefully help you guys get the outcome that you're looking for.
Louisa likes the sleeves on your shirt. Trish thinks that you must have a date because you look super cute.
Thank you. I don't. I have a date with my kids tonight.
And I do have Valentine's Day frames coming. They're
not here
they're
yet.
supposed to come today.
So this was my Christmas present from Caitlin.
Yes.
And
cute.
so I have a heat pack on my back. So I was like, I'll be warm enough. I can wear it. I haven't worn it since Christmas because it hasn't really been that toasty out.
No.
But yes, thank you. I'm tickled pink. I think it's beautiful. She found it on Amazon, and I love the sleeves, though they're kind of belly.
You look like an angel.
I do look like an angel, don't I? Because I am one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. Now watch my mom will comment. Yeah, right. So, well, thank you. That's very sweet. Yeah, and I'm, like I said, sometimes gifts from kids are interesting.
Yeah.
This was a great one. So I'm really pleased with it too. So thanks.
Yeah. So should we get on to?
Let's get on to business,
All
and
right.
then we can show you some pretties towards the end because who doesn't want to see pretties?
Yeah. So
So I am going to
I'm gonna
scooch
disappear.
her out of the way. And I'm going to get you guys set up to watching her here in just a moment. So she is over there in the mouse isn't moving. Is it the right direction?
It is.
All right. So layout on Sarah.
All right. So hopefully everyone can hear me. I'm kind of facing the back of the camera here. What I'm going to do is.
Sorry. Trish said someone's rolling his eyes in Florida.
Yeah. Probably.
And my mom says no comment.
So this is a machine where the thread spool sort of sits behind the bobbin winder. All right, and I'm going to try not to hook myself on the camera here. So I'm going to place the spool on the spool pin. And I have my handy dandy bobbin here, right? It doesn't really matter which direction you put it on, but you are going to place it on the spool pin, and then you are going to twist. And
you hear that click, maybe.
Yeah, you might not have heard it, but it does click in place. There's a little metal piece on the top of the bobbin winder. It's here. And there is a little plastic notch in the bobbin. And what I want those to line up together. So I have those on, I've spun my bobbin, and I'm in place. So the machines have dotted lines and solid lines. Our dotted lines are referencing our bobbin thread. So we have the spool of thread on, and we're going to come under our number 1 guide and under our number 2 guide, and then we're going to come around our number 3 guide. And this is the guide on all of the machines I think that people struggle with the most. And it's really the most important in order to get your bobbin to be non-squishy. So we are underneath our number 1, and we are now underneath our guide number 2, and number 2 is telling me to come diagonally to number 3. And if you can see this, I've got a little hook here. So it's like it's standing straight up, and then it's hooking into the right. And I need the thread to come behind that. So I want the thread to come behind that. And then I need to come around this little guy right here. And this little ring has a spring on it. So I am behind and then around. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to come from under my 2, and I'm going to come behind and around. And when I get underneath this, I can feel that there's a little bit of tension on my thread. If I don't feel any tension on my thread, I might not be underneath the spring, but I can also wrap this around one more time just to get a little bit more tension on my thread. Then I'm going to bring my thread over to my bobbin here, and I'm going to wrap this around. Now I like to wrap this around quite a few times, so I do like 6 or 7 times. All right. And then there are some cutters on the bottom here. So I'm going to slide my thread underneath this little notch, and it's going to cut my tail thread for me because it's super special. And then I'm going to slide my bobbin over. Now, if I have done everything correctly, when I push the go button, it's going to take off just fine without me. And there she goes. And so I can see that my thread is kind of going in a nice general order. it's stacking nicely.
Moving up and down that inner piece on the bobbin.
Yes. If you're super concerned, you can always put a little tension on your thread over here and kind of hand move it up or down. So sometimes if I want my bobbin to be extra full, I might gently guide it to stay up to the top or to the bottom ever so slightly.
Be careful you don't push too far, because once you get it underneath there, it'll keep winding and wrap right around that winder, and then you get not happy.
That's right. And so I don't need to fill my bobbin, but I'm going to take it, it's about halfway full now. I'm going to slide it back over, and I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to show you guys that I have a nice,
very even,
taut, even bobbin. So it's not, doesn't look like a flower. It's very evenly
there's
stacked.
no bumps. It's
and there's
nice
no
and
bumps.
smooth. That's what you're looking for.
And then I would be able to go ahead and put that right in my machine. Anybody have any questions about that? Feel free to ask. Lisa's
I'm gonna switch
swing
cameras here
over.
so that you guys don't get nauseated by the movement of the camera. You get to look at me for just a second, because evidently I look very cute today. So she's getting all set up on the second machine, which is the Pace Setter 500. And any second now, she's going to give me a thumbs up, and I'm going to switch you guys back over to her.
Can you do a switch back over? I can't see it, so I'm not sure where I'm at.
Oh,
unless you
well,
can.
how about I tell you how that looks? Just 1 second. You look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody, can we see? Yeah, we can see
See
everything from
can
here
see
to here,
everything.
right?
Yep.
All right. So I've got some green thread in here, and I'm going to take that off. And you can see from looking at this machine, the thread spool stand is here. The bobbin winder is here. And so this one is kind of sitting in line instead of behind. But I'm going to follow the same path. I'm going to follow my dotted line, which tells me to go under 1, 2, 3, and my bobbin winder.
So again, just like on the other machine, this has dotted lines to follow for your path to wind for the bobbin, and a solid line for when you're threading the needle.
And I've got my bobbin. I'm placing it on my bobbin winder, and I'm going to spin it until it clicks. So I'm going to go over number 1 and then under number 2. And I'm going to come across here. And again, this is my number 3. So this is the same as we had over of the other one. Is my hand in the way?
No, you're
okay. So we're coming from behind up against the edge. So I've come around this guy, and then I need to slide the thread underneath this little spring-loaded thing here. And again, I've got tension on here. So I know I'm going to get a good clean bobbin, and I'm going to wrap it around my bobbin holder and my bobbin thread here a few times, and then slide it underneath, cut that excess tail thread, slide it in position, and
hit go.
Hit go.
So just like the other, that tension disc is the most important part. You have to have that right inside there to make sure that it's nice and tight. Otherwise, you get a real loose bobbin. So we want to make sure that that thread is nice and taut underneath that disc, and give it a little extra tug if it's not. Looks good.
And then again, I have the ability to sort of make sure that it's going exactly where I want it to be. And then I can stop it, slide it over, pull it up. And
I love the little thread cutters on there. It makes life so easy.
Yeah, they're great. And again, you can see that I'm nice and taut. It's not squishy. It's very even.
Nice and balanced.
Nice and balanced. Hopefully everyone can see
good
that.
stitches. You can, yeah, absolutely. The
All
white
right.
machine right behind it shows real nice.
Right, great. So that is the second style. And then we have the like the brother,
the fancy schmancy
style. The
Luminaire,
the Solaris, the Dream, the Destiny. You guys all have 2 options for that machine.
Yep. So we've got there's some slightly different pieces. There's an extra special feature on this machine here, which is, I think feeling like that's going to go right into my chest. The angle of the camera is
Yeah.
not good at the
I'm
moment.
trying to get
She's
down.
working on it. So those were kind of the entry and the midline. They have a little bit smaller tension disc, so it's a little bit harder actually to get inside of there. You want to make sure that it's nice and caught underneath that tension disc. So I think
Can you see what that looks like?
I can see black thread, and I can see it about here. We need to go that way, but she's adjusting. Oop, and now I've moved off screen.
Sorry.
It's okay. So
Lots
let's
of
see.
camera, or not lots of cord stuff.
Lots
here.
of stuff back there.
I
to
might
work
need to go
around.
taller.
So we're right. I'm right on the edge right there. So it's barely. Ooh, there. That's not what you were trying to.
No.
I'm getting nauseated by the movement of the camera now. That looks pretty good.
Does that look good?
I think we can make that work.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras here real fast, guys.
And since you're in front of it, you want to handle that one?
I can handle that one.
Yep.
So
Purple thread.
we have purple thread, nice and pretties in here. So it looks kind of like a hot mess up there. I do
Probably
have
should've cleaned that
I
up,
do
right?
have a little spider that sews with me when I sit here. I had to play one day and I wanted to see what multiple micro threads would look like stitched together. And that's what
it
happened.
looks like.
That's what happened. So I now have a little friend. Not that I like spiders or anything, but I have a little orange and black spider. He's kind of fun. So this right here is the bobbin area on this machine. We do have an actual piece here for, which way does this go? Oh, up and over?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to get that out of the
There
way.
we go.
All right. So, wow, it really is a hot mess up here. Okay. So we have a little spool holder right here that we can use. When I'm embroidering, I actually, a lot of times will leave my bobbin thread right there so that when I'm in the middle of things, it's readily accessible for me. But we do also have the thread stand that I just moved out of the way back here. So you certainly can use the back stand as well as you can also use this. So there's lots of options on where you want to go on this one. I'm going to put it just like we were talking for the other machines. And I don't know if that's going to stay on there.
Yeah, that one might need a thread.
That one might go flying. Oh, this does not do anything.
Too small?
It's the hole on it. There we go. There, it had absolutely no.
Oh, I see. It's
It's open in the middle. I'm like, there is nothing doing on that. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see real well, but
That was your test.
I passed. Yay, go me. So right here we have those dotted lines. And then over here, we've got the solid lines. So coming from here, I'm just going to follow over and clip in the thread. If I'm up front here, I still need to go underneath. There's a little dotted line number 1 right here. So I still need to clip basically here and come back over. And then same thing, if I'm coming from the top, I'm going to come down to that same point. So same thing, we just have to get there from a different position. So I'm going to snap that there. My thread is my number 1 on this machine. It does not want to stay there. Number 2, we're going to clip in here. On this machine, we have a little bit larger. You can see it's like the size of my fingertip. So the disc is a little bit easier. And we're actually just going to follow around. And you want to, again, make sure that that's in there. And I don't have a bobbin. Here we go. Where's the bobbin?
I did put it there.
Yeah.
I got bobbins ahead of time. I thought that was doing good.
So again, we're going to, I'm just like Sarah. I wind that around there until I pretty much run out of thread to wind it with. And then we've got that cutter, and there are 2 there. You got 1 on each side. So that's the same on all of those, which is really great. This one's just a little bit different. Instead of moving the bobbin itself, I've got a little lever here that I push towards it. And then on these, we get a little pop-up menu over here where we can adjust the speed. And hey, look, there's my little blanket. We can adjust the speed of that. And the start button is there. So it's actually a separate motor. So I can wind a bobbin and sew at the same time. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 separate motors, which is why you get that pop-up screen. You're not using the foot pedal or the start stop button on the machine to actually run that. One other fancy thing that is on just the Solaris or the Luminaire is this little button right here. And it allows you to say how much bobbin we want that to run. So I'm not sure how well you guys can make out that switch that's moving around there, but that is literally a middle size. So I just want it half full. You know, when we're sewing, if I'm just doing a hem, I don't need a whole bobbin. And sometimes I get distracted and I end up with almost a whole bobbin and I don't want that. So this is a nice way the machine will stop it all on its own. If we just need a little bit, we can have that all the way down. Or of course, with embroidery or a large sewing project, we can fill that bobbin all the way up. So I've got that on the low setting. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And it's fighting its way around that little bit too large end cap, but that's all I had here. So again, I can make some adjustments if I feel like it's not real flat. You notice that popped right open because I have a low setting on my bobbin. And let's see, where can I put this? About right here. So nice small amount of bobbin. I don't know how well you guys can see the glare, but very little thread, which is just enough to run a couple hems, which is really awesome. So being able to choose the size of my bobbin is really nice. I didn't think I would use that all that much, but I actually do. I was like, that's really cool, but I'm not sure about if I'll use that function. I do. So very, very cool and pretty straightforward.
And you can manually do that on the other machines. This
Of course
one is
you
just
can. This is just I don't have to remember to stop it or, oh crap, I have too much or that kind of thing.
Yes.
So I had no idea it had a click. Yep, I get that. I might have heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
hi, Dad.
Yep, there's Dad. Hi, Dad.
Pretty soon I'm gonna have to get him one of these. He's gonna need something to fill his time.
He's
I'm
totally
sure.
gonna need something to fill his time. We can ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are. We're back. We have lots of wires and craziness happening around us right now. So we're still a little bit angled. So I'm just gonna scooch.
We are.
Scooch over a little bit. Hello.
Hey. How you
We're gonna
doing?
get comfortable. I'll just read back.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of super easy. Want me to bring that around?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right, Lisa's going to
Attempt to
attempt
not
to
blow
move.
up anything now.
Yep.
What way do I need to go?
That camera or the that cord might be
I totally got this.
yes. All right.
Maybe I don't.
It's a long cord.
It is
isn't
a very long cord.
It's the only way we don't get feedback. Oh. See, we aren't on the screen, thankfully.
You guys have no idea what's happening.
Right.
All right.
And
so.
maybe we'll do this in 2 stages as well. We'll show them the quilting stitches on the machine, how to pick when they want to use their J-foot, and then we can show them actually stitching with the J-foot. How
I
does
can
that
totally
sound?
do that.
Okay.
So I'll just move the camera gently if I'm not in a good spot at all.
Okay.
How about that?
Yes.
Because I think this needs to turn.
Definitely. And you might be able to turn it, that way. It should.
Whoa.
There you go. Right? I know it's kind of cool.
It's like flipping all kinds of craziness on the screen.
Right.
All right.
Maybe come back just a little bit.
Come back this way.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that actually
I'm
looks
a little too low, but
nope, definitely now
I
you're
see
too
it.
high. There
Okay.
you go. Now you're good.
all right.
Okay, so we're gonna flip over to the screen. So the next thing that we thought we would talk about was how to get the perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance using just your J foot. So the J foot is that standard foot that comes on all
of the sewing machines.
brother and baby
Yep.
lock sewing machines.
So this is it's literally has a J imprinted on it. There's a home for it in your box if you have a box or a tray or whatever. And this is what you would generally use for your straight stitching.
Mhm.
The difference between this. So most of us know if we use a 1/4 inch foot, you can switch. I don't have to, I can talk to myself. It's okay. And I'm just going to scooch us up a little bit so we can see a little bit better.
There we go.
All right. So what I was saying is, most of us have a 1/4 inch foot or have talked about getting one, and those need to be used in the center needle position. So there's actually a little hole right in the middle. And if you don't use center needle position, you'll break your needle, first of all. But it doesn't work properly unless you have that in center needle. So basically you're shifting that 1/4 inch to the left.
Right.
So
And
what does that actually mean?
Right. The
Right?
reason that we do that, and we'll show it on camera in just a second, but essentially when any sewing machine that is wide, that has a wider stitch width than basically 5 millimeters,
right?
Is going to what means is what means
What
that
means?
means is
We
when
can
you're
talk if we try really hard.
right when your needle is in the center needle position, you will only be using.
Did you see your dad's
Yeah,
question?
he wants to know if I'm coming down there to teach. No, I'm going to do it virtually, Dad. He wants to know, I'm sorry, when your needle is in the center needle position, you will only be using one feed dog. So you have a pair of feed dogs underneath there.
And you have really great acting feed dogs.
Yes.
So let's make use of both of them.
When we use the J foot and we move our needle position over, it allows us to take advantage of both of the feed dogs. So if you have a brother or a baby lock machine that is electronic, so we're not talking about something that is a mechanical machine.
Are a whole different ball of wax. Here.
Right. So on this fancy machine here, we have a menu that's called a quilt menu. And the Q stands for quilting. If you don't have a fancy touch screen, then you might have stitches that actually have a little letter designated P next to them, just like we have over here.
It's a little bit hard to see. I can try to get a little bit closer, but
I think they can see that pretty good.
I think that, so what you see there, if you can't make it out, we did that before we started. So those letters are there. If you can't quite make them out, that is what those are.
So what we want to do is we actually want to go to Q number 2. And what this tells me is it's the piecing stitch right. And if you're kind of a stickler for how your stitches look like, I might be a stickler. This one has some itty bitty tiny stitches. They're 2.0. And I have friends that like to stitch with the 2.0 stitch length. I'm not one of those because I do occasionally make a mistake.
Yeah.
So I always increase my stitch length to 2.5.
So I was just going to throw in, if you are moving your own needle position in the standard, not in the quilting category,
yes,
your standard defaulted is 2.5.
Yes.
If you go into that quilting category, that changes the default to 2.0.
Yes.
So that is one big difference in the number 1 menu versus the quilting menu.
Yes. And they didn't ask us. So
no, I don't know why they don't ask us. We just have so many opinions to share.
We would have told them that's silly. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
People don't want to stitch with that small stitch.
Because people don't want to unsew that small of a stitch. That's
right.
the bottom line of that.
Yeah. So by doing that, what we have done is we have moved our needle position over so that we can use the edge of our J foot to get a perfect 1/4 inch.
So for those of you, this number right here is that magic number. And I'm not sure how well you guys can see that. It is plus 5.5. This machine lists it as left, right, shift.
Mm-hmm.
So it is from the left, we have a 7 millimeter stitch width. It is going from 0, which is far left, to the right, 5.5 millimeters. And from that position to the right edge of your J foot is a 1/4 inch.
Mm-hmm.
We always hear questions about, well, what if I need a scant 1/4 inch?
Yeah.
So here's our opinion. A 1/4 inch is a 1/4 inch. If you look at a measuring tape, there's not a line for a scant 1/4 inch. There really is no such thing as that. So 1/4 inch is a 1/4 inch. That's just how that works. Do you want to show how to get to that if they don't have or don't know where to find that quilting stitch?
You mean like in the regular menu?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure. So Hallie asked, yes, your soprano does have a piece. It does have the P for piecing. And yours will have like a little oval above it with a dot that'll show you if it's center, left, or right. Yeah,
if you hit the sewing button on the bottom of your soprano, I believe it's like the center off the screen, not on the screen, but below the screen, you have the sewing button. There will then pop up the menu and you can choose that from there, if I remember right.
A soprano is a screen like that. They have to get to the menus at the top with their buttons on the side.
Okay. I'm thinking something
like a 3600
the
would
embroidery
be,
combo one. That's why never mind. You can, if you have a combo machine, then I'm not full of crap.
That's right.
But if you don't, then just ignore everything I just said. Don't mind me. There's a lot of machines out there.
There are a lot of machines. So if you have a machine like the Brother 500, the PS 500, so a soprano, a lyric, a brilliant, a 500, a 550, a 575, one of those types of machines where you have stitches on your front cover.
Yep.
You will use your buttons on
your
this
utility button,
which is going to be like the very leftmost.
It's like the 30s or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's up there. It's not one of the entry first ones.
Right. And it'll be like the very left category. Maybe in the spring I'll get a combo machine.
We can certainly help you with that.
And then you'll be able to reference this video. And Lisa will show you how.
And I will show you that I'm not crazy. There really is a sewing machine button on those.
See, and everybody's like, do you rehearse this? No,
not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. So,
all right. So we would go to our utilities.
All right. And here you have your menu of stitches. It's kind of hard to stick our fingers in there because then you can't really see anything.
So this menu says 101, 02, 03, 04. They're all straight stitches. The difference is if I select either 1 or 2, I'm in left needle position. If I select 3 or 4, I'm in center needle position. And so depending upon which one I am choosing, it says middle. It should totally say center.
Right. But
it's they didn't ask us again. I don't know why they don't ask these things. So how do I get this stitch to where I want to go?
So you would touch your left right shift button and we would move that up till we get to 5.5.
Click, click, click. Right. So we have now moved, and if we had the camera, we don't have that many cameras happening, sorry. But if we had the camera on there, you would literally see the needle shifting to the right as you move that. That is what that left right shift is. If you do not have a left right shift in your straight stitch, it's your width. So if you do not have a left right shift button on your machine, you're going to put your width at 5.5 for a straight stitch.
But if you have an electronic or baby lock machine, you will have a piecing stitch.
A piecing stitch is there.
You can go to, which for many people is much easier than remembering what
this number has to be.
Yep. So you can then just find the stitch that has the P on it, and it's usually the middle one.
Yep, it's usually the middle one. So again, that would be under your quilting menu. If you have a quilting menu, if not, it's about halfway down through the random stitches.
Yes.
And the one in the middle. So there are 3 here. We have Q1, 2, and 3, and number 2 is the 5.5.
Right. And so that's going to stick you in the right position, and I am going to bump that up again, and we're just going to leave that there. And I think we're going to move the camera one more time.
All right, so I'm going to move it. Don't get sick.
Yeah,
close your eyes for half a second if needed. Moving nice and slow, and I'm going to re-angle. So we're going to spin to the right here, guys. Hang on. Woo! That was crazy.
Yep. We might need to, maybe I should, I'm going to go off because I think that's going to make that.
I need to raise up the camera.
Yes.
Where's our little doohickey?
Which doohickey?
Our razor upper.
Our razor upper.
Here's our razor upper way over here. Oh, I still shook the camera.
It's hard to get good help.
I'm telling you. So what she is currently doing is adding.
I'm trying to find the hole.
What if I heard that before? No, wait a minute. I had to put something in there.
Right?
I couldn't go by without a day of
just always goes there, doesn't it?
Just always ends up there. All right. I think that is pretty good.
That looks good. Let's switch over to the
what mouse works with the Solaris. Miss Trish, you want a corded mouse and you don't want the expensive ones. I got mine for a whole whopping $6.99 at Walmart.
I'm going to switch back over. Let's raise the whole thing up just a little bit. With this. So we can get a better angle on that. I think. Come down a little.
See, this isn't as easy as you guys think.
right? Especially, it's like we're trying to do live action shots here.
It's like, whoa. All right, let's see. How's that? I think that's pretty good.
That looks pretty good.
All right.
Okay, so
So you guys can see
woohoo,
we
there we
have
go.
like a box that's what?
an
An
inch.
inch square that's showing us the other camera. So it's really hard to see what's in it. All right. So Sarah has a seam guide kind of hanging out in the wind over there.
I do. You know, the number one thing when I tell people to use their J foot that they say to me is, "Well, I like the foot with a guide." Thank you. And I tell them, well, I mean, everybody likes a good guide, right? So, but let's get you the right guide. And so I find this one here to be really.
It is great. It's maneuverable, so you can choose what you want. It attaches right onto the needle plate.
Right.
It's just,
so
it does
works,
exactly what it's supposed to do.
It works for all seams. So not just your 1/4 inch. So it really isn't like it's an all-purpose seam guide.
How much did that run, just in case they couldn't
It's
see?
$24.99 before your discount for everybody who purchased a machine from us. You would get 20% off that.
Which leaves you at 20 buckaroonies.
There we go. So
What'd I
we
do?
it was
Oh,
like
it was
stuck,
stuck
so
on
I was
the
just
spool.
pulling the thread back a little bit. So we talked about placement of our fabric. If I were in center needle position, so it's probably hard to see this.
I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Can they see?
I feel like we got to zoom in.
I'm zooming
there
by
we go.
tilting
I
the
think
whole
that-
camera.
There we go. So I
Don't laugh. I'm shaking.
think that if I were in center needle position, I would be right here. This is going to make much more sense. So I would be right here. And you can see that this
That
is
whole feed dog
the
is
feed
showing.
dog. All right. So if I'm sewing in center needle position and I'm using a 1/4 inch piecing foot, this is where my fabric placement is going to be. When I sew with the J foot, my fabric placement is going to be right here. So you can see that I've covered that other feed dog, which is now going to make the fabric feed through much easier. So it's going to be more consistent. It's going to have left pull. It's going to have less pull to the left.
We're just combining our words
We
today
are.
because that's so much easier.
Right? It is so much easier when you can make all of the words in like one.
Yeah, we'll just blend it. You guys can figure that out, right? It's all good.
You guys all speak, Sarah and Lisa.
At this point, that is a whole new language.
So if I place my foot down right here, I've got my fabric lined up. If I wanted to get this seam guide in line, you can see that it fits in front of my fabric.
It has a little lip that goes underneath. So there's literally a groove to sit that fabric right on and then right up against.
And so I'm going to tighten it in place. And so now I have a nice guide. It sits in front of my foot. So for anybody who likes a 1/4 inch piecing foot with a guide, here's your solution. This is going to give you a perfectly straight 1/4 inch.
And see, we planned ahead, dark thread, so y'all can see what's going on.
Sorry, that was a really bad place for the. But now you can see I've got my nice 1/4 inch seam here. It's very straight. It's very even. And it was super easy.
And you don't even really almost have to hold the fabric.
Right.
It just does it all for you.
You're just guiding it. You do. I just want to reiterate. You do have to hold it. Though we did have somebody tell me, you know, the machine is really smart. I shouldn't have to hold it. You do. I just want to be clear.
I didn't mean to say that you didn't. I just mean you're not up there with your hands in there messing with stuff. You actually can have your hand away so that you can see what's going on.
Yes.
The feed dogs are both working.
Yes.
So you're getting that wonderful feed underneath the foot. And it's not shifting in, I almost said twerking. Twisting.
Yes.
Underneath the foot. So you're getting that very consistent stitch, which is what we all want.
Like Miley Cyrus.
I'm telling you,
It's been a weird day.
It has been a something.
But anyways, this is how easy it is to be very consistent. And, you know, earlier we talked about how a 1/4 inch needs to be a measurable unit. And it really does need to be measurable. You need to be able to sew your 1/4 inch seam allowance on 10 different sewing machines if
And
you
have them
had
all
to,
be
and
the
have
same.
them all be the same. So my 1/4 inch seam shouldn't be any different than Lisa's 1/4 inch seam shouldn't be. And there are ways that you
Unless
can,
I can admit I can't sew in a straight line.
well, I mean, that's different, but
That's not the same
they,
thing.
they should be the same. And
Right.
the best way to measure your seam allowance isn't to measure it from here to here. It's actually to put 3 pieces of fabric together and press them so that the seams are going, and then measure your center piece of material. If you have done it correctly, the center piece of material will have taken exactly a 1/4 inch off of each side, so a 1/2 inch total, and then you know that you actually have your seam allowance exactly the way that it's supposed to be. And if it's not, you can adjust your needle position ever so slightly left or right so that you are able to get an accurate 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Absolutely.
So that is how easy it is to get. To confirm, J foot in center or right needle position. It's actually in neither the center or the right position. It is actually in 5.5. But on your machine, if you are picking a piecing stitch, it will say piecing stitch right. It doesn't go all the way to the right.
Correct.
But it does move the needle to the right.
Of center.
Of center. Yes.
Not to confuse the
Not
issue
to
at
confuse
all.
the issue.
One thing else that I have found, if you have a screen that is larger than, you know, I guess maybe I could go this. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Go
I
this
think
way.
we can take
So,
this off now, right?
yes. The screen that's like yay big doesn't have all of the adjustments that we have, some of those that we've been talking about. But if you have a screen that's larger than that on your sewing machine, in the quilting menu, you actually have a much smaller increment of adjustment that you can make on the needle position.
Right.
In the quilting menu, which a lot of people don't realize because they've never tried. So when you're in the standard menu, you go from 5 to 5 1/4 to 5.5. When you're in the quilting menu, you go from 5 to 5.12 to 5 1/4
Yes.
to 5.37. So you actually get half the movement. So you know, if the way that you are holding the fabric or whatever it happens to be, your 1/4 inch is just a hair off, you can move a smaller increment in that quilting menu.
Yes. Yeah, that is the advantage of
Those upper level
machines is you do have more ability to do that. And that is why they have the quilt menu versus the standard utilitarian menu.
That's why there's 2 different menus on those machines.
Yes. So, Lisa, are these videos on Facebook too? I am always working at this time. Yeah, this is going to be on this live broadcast will be a recorded broadcast on our Facebook, but it's probably easier to find on our YouTube channel because you can actually go to the SnL broadcast playlist and find them a little bit easier than scrolling through wherever it is
pages upon pages of video.
Yeah, and Facebook doesn't put them in chronological or dated order or alphabetical. I don't know. It's just random.
It's just random.
So who knows where it will
it's like
be.
Whoever watched the last one, that's what you get first.
Yeah.
That's about as much sense as it makes.
Which is none.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys. Don't cross my legs, I guess.
Right? It's a crazy day today.
It's just bumping into all kinds of things.
So we talked about all of this stuff. Hopefully this was super helpful for someone.
Somebody out there. You know,
yes.
bobbins are something that we deal with a lot at the front counter of people coming in and, you know, why am I having all of these issues? So there you go. It's important stuff.
And we have like some exciting news, right?
We do.
We didn't show this yet, did we?
We have not shown that yet.
So are you ready? I know we know how excited. Look, and sneak peek here. Everybody loves Kimberbell, new Kimberbell stuff. So we have the new
Main Street Celebration bench pillow.
The kids have arrived.
Hayden is working frantically on the other side of the store. We've got these beautiful boxes. So we have, for all of you who have pre-ordered, we will have yours set aside. If you paid the deposit, it will have whatever your balance left is on there. If you've paid in full, we'll also have that marked so that there's no, nobody will ask you for more money when you walk in the door.
Right.
If we do have more than what our pre-orders were. So if you didn't pre-order, but you're like, yep, I gotta have it. You know, I saw the picture of it on the front of the 42-page instruction manual. It is absolutely stunning. There is some really, really great things in there. And when you pop those lights in the fireworks, it's very, very beautiful.
Yeah, they really did a really nice
So-
nice job on that.
So the next question is, you know, the sample, I'm going to take it home and I'm going to work on it tonight, but I don't have anything yet.
Right.
So I'm working on it.
We literally just got
it today.
patterns, and
So.
so no, we haven't had a chance to do that yet. But a couple of you ordered sewing versions of this. The sewing patterns are not here yet.
So we have your fabric, but not
and your embellishment kit.
in your embellishment.
but your
not the
instructions are
sewing
not
banner.
here yet. So
So just the embroideries
right.
are
If
in
you
stock.
don't get an email from us about your kit being ready, it's because the sewing stuff isn't here yet. But everybody who pre-ordered embroidery,
Yep.
your stuff is here.
Your stuff is here.
Yes, just to be confusing.
Yeah, because you know we haven't thrown a ton of information at you today or anything.
The neck of my shirt is like that commercial.
That commercial that
where she says,
you know what
"You're
that reminds me of?
half-washed," or-
My son used to chew his shirts.
Right,
Like every
promise
shirt.
I
And
wasn't
it didn't
doing
matter if you washed it, it still came out of the wash with that chewed on look.
that, right?
I was forever buying him new shirts. Thank God he doesn't do that anymore.
I wasn't chewing on it, but
Are you sure?
yes, there was no sucking on my shirt that happened. I mean, you can't do that with a mask on.
It is difficult. You have to get through the mask first to get to the shirt. There's layers that you got to go through.
Oh, but I think it's the embroidery design. It's like too heavy. I bought this shirt. And they didn't use the right stabilizer.
So
In case
Louisa,
you were
I did see
curious.
your comment. We had already switched the camera. Unfortunately, I just dawned on me that did you disconnect that too?
No, it's
Your
not.
camera?
I can bring it back
Can you
on.
turn it back on for a
I
second?
can.
So Louisa's asking the question. Woo! Okay. She had unplugged the microphone piece that kept the echoing from happening. So Louisa's question was, we have all, you know, fussed with our bobbin at some point. So I'm going to just really quick switch cameras here. She's holding it this time around, guys. So hang on. All right. So here is that bobbin piece. And this has got the cutter on each side. And we were talking about, you know, pushing a little bit to make sure that you stay balanced. Some machines are always top heavy and some machines are always bobbin bottom heavy. So it just depends. But you can kind of do this with the thread as it's going to keep that. But what happens if you push down too far and you get that little pile of stuff underneath here and you sit there, you do. And then you call us and we tell you to do this. So I'm actually going to stand up so I have some leverage. This little piece pops right off. So it comes right off. Then your big amount of thread you can remove. And then just like we talked about the snap of the bobbin going on, there's also a little notch in here that you need to line up. So when it won't go quite on right, you just need to spin. Glasses really are helpful when you're trying to see little spots. I don't know why I keep forgetting I need them at this point in my life. So it will snap in and then you just push down and it snaps and locks into place. It's very easy to take off and very easy to put back on.
They all work the same.
They all work the same on that. So if you are having issues, please don't freak out. You're not going to break anything. Pop that sucker off. Get that big wad off from underneath there. It's a great suggestion, Louisa. Thank you for mentioning that. You're not going to break anything. And you will be much less frustrated because you won't have that issue there.
Don't unwind that. That's
don't-
no
yeah.
fun.
Now, if you have somehow wound your thread around your hand wheel, just bring it to Tony. Don't try to fix that yourself.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately we have seen that before too. So you know, if you're using a thread stand and it's
Right.
too close.
Yes. I remember the first time I saw that, the hand wheel popped off while we were in an embroidery club. And we were like, and then the thread, it was like watching like a worm grow. The thread, it just started. It did. And then she was like, I haven't used that color thread in a long time. So there was like,
She had done it more than once, evidently.
yeah, it
Wow.
was really funny. It was hysterical. And it was like, her name was Virginia. She was a lovely lady, but she was so hysterical when that happened. She was just like dumbfounded. She was
kind of looking at
her mouth was
so
like,
I ended up
yeah.
leaning off screen. What I was doing is leaning over and just looking at the hand wheel because
Yeah.
you kind of like, what do I do? Stop sewing.
Right.
Stop the hand wheel from moving.
Yep. So
But
it was funny. It happens.
But
So-
yeah, so underneath the bobbin winder, piece of cake, fix that yourself. And don't be afraid. I know a lot of us sometimes are afraid to touch things. So, we
Mhm.
talked about the cleaning and
Mhm.
all of those really easy things to look for and keep your machine running smoothly. That's another thing that you guys can do on your own at home very, very easily. So again, thank you, Louisa. We should have thought of mentioning that on our own. And
Well, we were
We
teaching
don't
you
make
how to
those
wind
mistakes.
perfect bobbins. So
because we don't, I've done it.
yeah,
We've all done it at some point, but it's very, very easy to fix. So thanks again. So did we have anything else to show?
No,
I don't think I'm looking around like we usually have a stack of stuff.
No, we have
but
exciting stuff coming. I mean,
we
have
do
new
so
cabinets and Disney panels and
Disney new thread
thread
sets that we're
kits.
putting
Oh my.
together. Oh my, yes, absolutely. And I have one of the 3 designs from the Garden Guild stitched out. So I've got colors picked out from there. So we'll get those thread sets. So your registration fee also includes your thread. So it's literally everything that you need. I'm just not providing the embroidery machine.
Right.
You need that at home. But everything else is going to be in there. I know quite a few of you have already registered, but there is no limit really with the virtual. As of right now, it's in March the 20th, I believe. I'm not in front of the calendar, but it is on the calendar on our website. So please feel free to check that out, and you can sign up also on the website for that information there too.
Pam mentioned any details about Dime tomorrow.
That was next on our list.
Yeah.
You beat us to it.
So, yes, we would like to stress the importance of this. So there's a bunch of you watching today. While we are hosting it through the store, we really aren't hosting it like we're
not like
hosting
giving
this.
it right.
Um,
So we might say hi. We actually haven't heard back on whether we're
Right.
supposed to say hi or not, like visually. We'll of course say hi in comments.
Right.
But it is happening while the store is open. So
you-
we'll be there as much as possible.
Right. And you will not get an email from us
Nope.
about joining it. So this is the number one thing
Question
that
that we get
last
the
time.
previous time. It was,
Right.
hey, you didn't send me the link to log in.
Right.
Well, yeah, we're not going to. That's not us.
That's right. So
So-
your email should come from Inspired by Dime.
Yep.
And if you have already forgotten, Kathy is asking about it. Yes, Kathy, it's not new, but it is posted to many different places for you to go and register.
And if you've been a Dime customer in the past, you've probably been getting about an email a day
Yeah.
saying, hey, it's not too late. You can still sign up. I know I'm getting them. So I'm
So,
assuming you
yeah,
guys are too.
There is a link on our website.
Yep.
There is a link on the events page of the Facebook group. You do have to go through the entire process of signing up. So it's going to ask you like how many tickets you want. You have to do that. You have to go through like you're actually paying for something. But there's not going to
There's
be
no
any
fee.
charge.
It's completely free.
And
my mom just said that she did get her email today that reminded her
Right.
with all of the login information. Thank you. That's fantastic.
um,
It's on my list of things to
but-
do. I have to sign up. I
Yes.
haven't signed up yet.
So you will probably get a reminder again in the morning. It's at 11 o'clock our time.
Yep.
We will, as soon as we have a live link to the presentation.
I will post it on the website
We
so
will-
that if you're having problems, you can just go. It'll be right on the homepage,
Mhm.
right at the top. You can't miss it. As soon as I have one, I will post it there just in case somebody's having issues. This is again from Dime, and it is edge to edge quilting in the embroidery hoop. So there are some designs by, I'm just going to butcher it. I don't know. Amelia Scott. It's Amelie or something to that effect. And so it's a little bit different. I don't know exactly how to pronounce her name, but there are some wonderful, beautiful designs, and they're going to show you how to use those in conjunction with dime things, in conjunction with
Your
positioning
embroideries.
things,
Yeah.
and all of those things. They're going to literally take all these separate things, pull them together, and show you how everything can work. and make it so easy to do an edge to edge on your embroidery machine. There's
Mhm.
quite a bit. Louisa got hers too. I'm trying to read. That is so dang far away. And the letters just, I think they're getting smaller
Smaller?
every week. Every
Yes.
week they get smaller.
So that's what that's about. Diane says, I might have missed it, but is it better to use a thread stand or spool holder? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Just-
What really matters is that tension disc. No
Mhm.
matter what machine that you're using, it has to be in that tension disc. And like Sarah said, if you're tugging and it feels like it's just shoop, there's no resistance, wrap it around there again and give it a little bit extra. Yeah, they're right here, Louisa.
I'd let you borrow mine,
Unfortunately,
but they won't.
These are readers, so they work to about like here. That's just worse. I can read that. It's just hard. It's just
It's
hard.
small.
It's very small from where I'm sitting. That's all. I really like it when there's a camera right here, like her
Mhm.
phone, because I can read the comments literally right in front of me. That works really well for me. I'm just getting older, guys. It's the gray hairs aren't showing because I dyed it, but yep, going blind, been deaf. It's just, there you go.
The golden years.
It's the golden life, I'm telling you.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have a lot to look forward to,
Oh,
don't we?
God, if this is what it's like at 45, I'm so scared. I'm falling apart.
Oh my goodness. But I think,
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
afraid those will be sometime in my future too.
yeah, they were probably in my future last time, those bifocals, but
Yeah, I'm
not
actually
ready
not
for
there
it.
yet. That's just really small print. It's
But
it's-
let's go with that.
yeah, she's with me.
Yeah,
She's totally
except for
backing me up.
I can.
Fuck off. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's definitely not made for kids now. Bleep.
Bleep. I apologize.
Oh.
In case any of you didn't know, that's her favorite word. And I never used to say it as much as I do since I've met this lady right here. I apologize.
That was great.
And I'm so sorry. I can read it. I just have to focus on it.
Yeah, there. Wait till you're 70 or
Yes,
75.
I know. Like I
think
said,
that.
I'm afraid if this is what it's like now. Good Lord, I won't be able to get out of bed then. Is what it is.
Good times.
But hopefully,
Oh,
I will learn better manners by then. I do apologize.
I don't know. They say it
just
gets
slipped
worse
right
when you get
out.
older, right?
Yeah, because nobody cares, right? Isn't that what I don't
Use
care
your
what you
filter?
think of me. There you go, right?
Pia
I-
says don't blame
Oh no,
me.
it is all her fault. Totally her.
She said you're as red as my shirt. Holly did. Oh, that was great. Thanks.
I do apologize. So there's your I don't know what for the day.
Oh, everybody seems very amused by us today.
That just totally slipped right out. So sorry.
Okay, and so on.
And so in closing,
Yeah.
God, I hope Jean's not watching this.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so yeah, she says we're all adults. Yeah, this one is not made for children.
Yes, I think we need to put like an E on the video screen for
Disclaimer.
explicit.
Explicit.
Don't watch this one if you're under 18.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Oh, hi Tita.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
So yes,
that was all right. So back to where we were at.
back to where we
before.
were.
Lots of stuff coming.
There's lots of stuff upcoming. We literally have, like we said, negotiations is a way too strong of a word, but
Yeah.
getting detailed information to and setting up to get some new cabinets in here. Some really nice looking, a little bit more affordable than some of the things that we've had. So for those of you who've been waiting, wait with bated breath at this point because
Mhm.
it's coming and it's coming very soon.
Yes.
And like she said, we've got some other things. We did get 7 bolts of grunge in today. So if you're listening, Karen, you need to make more pillowcases. There's some more colors that are available. There's some pinks.
They're pretty pinks.
Very pretty
We did
pink.
good when we picked those
we
out.
did. It's
It's just in time for Valentine's Day too.
absolutely
So if you want to make some
So,
Valentine's Day grunge dot pillowcases.
very rememberable.
Thanks, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. Hang my head.
My dad knows that that's my favorite word. I don't use it as much
See?
as my
She just admitted it.
brother-in-law does.
She just admitted it. So,
But I do, yes. For bleep's sake.
for bleep's sake, that is
it's
like
my
her favorite. I found and I really want to make you a sign, but I need to edit it because it's like the wrong direction. it's for fox sake.
Oh,
And it's
yes.
a picture of a fox. And I bought the design just for you, but I haven't been able to, I got to tweak it
Yeah.
a little bit, but
That's
um,
perfect.
I'm not making that up, guys. It's her fault. It's totally
I'm
her
a
fault.
bad influence on
Totally
her.
a bad
I'm
influence.
sorry.
We're a bad influence on you guys because, you know, we're the kind of friends that are like, no, you should totally buy that.
Yes.
That's the kind of friends we are. But there you go.
All right.
All right. So it is 4:30. We are going to
Sign off.
say sayonara, the
Yep.
whole shebang. You guys have, G's calling.
Yeah.
God, I hope not.
He doesn't watch.
No, he
No.
doesn't.
Mm-mm.
We're totally free to say just about anything, obviously, on here. You guys have a good one.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. And again, I'm sorry. That was bad.
Bye, guys. Until next week. See ya.